how do you add and subtract numbers in standard form? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, so quick tip then is only add or subtract numbers if the powers of 10 are the same. Okay, and if they're not the same, then you might need to make them the same. And so my next tip is that you change the smaller number to match the power of the bigger number. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, let's have a look at an example. So here's an example. Okay, and if we look at our two numbers, I want to add these two numbers together, this number here and this number here. Which of those numbers is the bigger number? Point at it and then like I'll tell you. Okay, so you think it's that one. Alright. This one is the bigger number. Okay, even though that number's smaller than that number, because it's got a power of 10 that's bigger, overall this number is way bigger than this one. Okay, this is like 100 times bigger than this one. Okay, so my tip was that you change the smaller number to match the bigger number. So I'm going to change this number here so that it matches the power here. Okay, so let me write these out. So we're going to keep the first number the same because it's the big one. And the second number, we want the power to be 10 to the power of 10 because I want these two powers of 10 to match. Okay, so what do I need to do to this number? Well, if I've made this one 100 times bigger, okay, I've times it by 10 twice, haven't I, to get this number here. I'm going to have to make this number 100 times smaller, so I'm going to have to divide this by 10 twice. So if I do that, what will I end up with? I'll end up with 0.0393. Okay, that's 100 times smaller. Yeah. Now I can add my numbers together. Okay, so I'll just add this number and this number together as I would normally, and then I'll leave that 10 to the power of 10. Okay, so what do we get? I think that we get 1.6593, and because they're both the same size, they're both times 10 to the power of 10, I can just stick that on the end, times 10 to the power of 10. Okay, and that's how you do it. Now the reason why we changed the smaller number and not the bigger number is because if we changed it the other way around, then this number at the front wouldn't be between 1 and 10, and we want it to be a number between 1 and 10, otherwise it's not in standard form. Okay, so let's have a look at another example, this time of subtraction. So again, I'm going to look at these numbers and decide which one's the bigger number. Okay, so looking at these two numbers, which one's bigger? Point at it, which one do you think it is? Okay, hopefully you picked this one, that's the bigger number. Okay, not because it's got a 6, but because it's got 10 to the power of 8, and that's bigger than 10 to the power of 7. Okay, so that's the bigger number. So I'm going to try and make both of my numbers match that bigger number. So let me write this down. 6 times 10 to the 8. I'm going to take that away from yeah, it's going to end up being a negative number, isn't it? But let's just do it anyway. Okay, I'm going to take that away from this one here. I want it to be times 10 to the power of 8. Okay, so because I want these two powers to match each other. So if I've made this one 10 times bigger, I need to make this number 10 times smaller. So this will be 0.924. And I'm now going to have to do 0.924 and then take away 6. So that gives me a negative number, doesn't it? That'll give me minus 5 point, I'm trying to do this in my head, 5.076. Okay, and that's multiplied by 10 to the power of 8. Okay, so that's your second example of subtraction. Okay, always change the smaller number to match the bigger number. Okay, and that's how you do addition and subtraction in standard form.
Joash Maths.